We are in Mercury Retrograde, so we were just having some conversation about how that's presenting for us. Yesterday, we had the group energy clearing where we really started going into some victimhood energy where others or ourselves don't take responsibility, where we blame externally. That energy is pretty heavy right now with folks as we're moving, especially into holiday time. If you're planning on spending any time with family or friends or connecting with people, this energy can really become problematic for some of us who are more sensitive, and we're really trying to bring our authenticity forward, or we are expressing our authenticity. However, that's bumping up against others in their victimhood, or we're seeing it more clearly how people are not able to show up in their authenticity, or they're getting so triggered. And noticing when you're seeing people in their inauthentic reaction or being triggered or not being able to show up in a certain way, and you know that that's not it aligned with who they are, but they're showing up that way and they kind of stay in their loops, how you're responding to them. As we are responding or observing and noticing people's energies, and we know and we're seeing how they could show up in a more authentic way, how are we responding to their triggers? Are we going into our old mechanisms? Or are we coming from a new aligned place? Are we coming from an authentic space? Are we holding a space for them? Or are we getting triggered? I'm starting to notice with this Mercury energy a little bit more amplifying that people are starting to come a little bit more reactive or regress into old ways of connecting versus holding a different level of space for people. So one of the ways I've been watching myself and others the last 2 days with the relationship to control, dominating the conversation, trying to control the situation, trying to be a fixer, trying to help, trying to make sure your word is known or communicated, making sure they understand what you're trying to say because it's so important for them to get your point. Things like that I've been noticing a lot the last few days in people's awareness. Others are holding back and staying in that pattern of holding back rather than communicating truth. So just observe as we go into this week, these next 2 weeks, because these are things that are coming up for folks. And we want to dive into and really start tracking the energy around this victimhood loop that keeps on coming up for folks, or what locks us down from like staying in these behaviors and not being able to be empowered, not being able to be in authenticity.